Some entrepreneurs built empires from scratch, others revolutionized entire industries. From rock-solid business strategies to game-changing innovations, these legends shaped the world we live in today. Get ready to dive into the lives of 10 of the greatest entrepreneurs in history, whose stories of success, challenges, and visionary thinking continue to inspire future generations. Steve Jobs was co-founder of Apple, one of the few tech companies that seriously challenged Microsoft's dominance. Unlike Gates' methodical expansion, Jobs' impact on Apple came in creative bursts. Apple was a struggling computer company when Jobs returned and turned it into one of the leading tech firms in the world. Born in Arkansas in 1918, John Johnson is considered one of the most influential African-American publishers in U.S. history. After the success of Negro Digest in 1942, Johnson launched Ebony, the most popular African-American magazine in the world since its debut in 1945. 6 years later, Johnson launched Jet, the largest African-American news magazine. However, Johnson didn't stop with publishing. He eventually became the owner of Fashion Fair Cosmetics, the largest black-owned cosmetics company in the world. He also became chairman and CEO of Supreme Life Insurance. In 1996, President Bill Clinton awarded Johnson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. If you've ever driven on an American highway, you've probably seen one of the 600-plus Love's Travel Stops country stores scattered across 42 U.S. states. Known for its 24-hour availability, restaurant offerings, and road merchandise, Tom Love built an empire with over 38,000 employees working at stores nationwide. A member of the Chickasaw tribe, Love and his wife Judy rented their first gas station in Watonga, Oklahoma, in the 1960s. In 2019, Love was inducted into the tribe's Hall of Fame, noting that the same love and qualities that define Love's travel stops define the Chickasaw tribe as well. Charles Schwab, often known as Chuck, carried Merrill's belief in serving the little guy and a focus on volume over price into the internet era. When Mayday opened the doors to negotiated commissions, Schwab was one of the first to offer discounted brokerage services to individual investors. He reduced the number of researchers, analysts, and advisors, and expected investors to empower themselves when placing orders. Starting from scratch, Schwab added services that mattered to his clients, such as 24/7 service and more branches. Merrill brought individual investors back into the market, but Chuck Schwab made it affordable enough for them to stay. Sam Walton chose a market that no one else wanted and then created a distribution system no one had tried in retail. By building warehouses between several of his Walmart stores, Walton saved on shipping costs and delivered products much faster to busy stores. He introduced a modern inventory management system, which allowed Walton to reduce costs far below his direct competitors. Rather than pocket all the savings as profit, Walton passed it on to the consumer. Offering consistently low prices, Walton attracted more and more customers, no matter where he opened a store. Eventually, Walton brought Walmart into big cities to compete with the big players on margins, and the Bentonville giant never looked back. One of the wealthiest and most influential women, Oprah Winfrey started her career as a news anchor and transitioned into full-fledged entrepreneurship. Her show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, aired nationwide in 1986, becoming the most-watched talk show in the U.S. and earning Oprah several Emmy Awards. Oprah was also involved in films, starring in lead roles and voicing characters in animated films. Oprah pioneered entrepreneurship by launching a live book club in 1996 and starting the Oprah magazine in 2000. She co-founded Oxygen Media and debuted on satellite radio in 2006. Oprah's philanthropic efforts through Oprah's Angel Network have supported charitable causes worldwide. She paved the way for many women in business and constantly demonstrates how to use entrepreneurial power for good. Henry Ford didn't invent the car. He was part of the team working on automobiles and might not have even been the best at it. However, these competitors were selling their cars at prices that made them a luxury for the wealthy. Ford put America, not just the wealthy, on wheels and unlocked the power of mass production. His Ford Model T became the first car affordable for most Americans. Ford's progressive labor policies and constant push to make each car better, faster, and cheaper ensured that his workers and regular Americans thought of Ford when choosing a car. There's no doubt Edison was brilliant. However, it was his business acumen, not his invention talent, that clearly showcased his intelligence. Edison took innovations and turned them into a process now known as RD. He sold his services to many other companies before starting to build much of the United States' electrical infrastructure. Edison was a co-founder of General Electric, GE, originally called Edison General Electric. Though Edison had many more patents than corporate ties, it is the companies that will carry his legacy into the future. Andrew Carnegie was a fan of efficiency, and his factories were always on the cutting edge of technology. Carnegie combined his excellent processes with perfect timing, acquiring steel assets during every market downturn. Like Rockefeller, Carnegie spent his later years giving away the wealth he spent much of his life accumulating. Though he may not be as well remembered as some of his contemporaries, Andrew Carnegie's legacy is powerful and moral. John D. Rockefeller was the wealthiest person by most measures of his time. He built his fortune by pushing efficiency through horizontal and vertical integration, making Standard Oil synonymous with monopoly, and driving down fuel prices for ordinary consumers. The government finally dissolved Standard Oil in 1911. Rockefeller's influence can still be seen in companies like Exxon and Conoco, which benefited from the RD and infrastructure they gained from the split. Rockefeller retired at the turn of the century and devoted the rest of his life to philanthropy. Over 80 years after his death, Rockefeller remains one of Wall Street's greatest figures.